The best man can get. Gillette, the best man can get. I love that shit when I was a kid, man. Gillette, boom, boom, the best the man can get. Boom, 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 boom. Gillette, boom, 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 the best the man can get. I'm like, I can't wait till I say Gillette, the best the man can get. Boom, 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 boom. Gillette, boom, 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 the best the man can get. Ah. What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, acting silly and stupid this Sunday morning. I want to remind you guys, as always, you want to donate to this channel, you want to show love to this channel, you want to contribute to Too Raw for TV, you can do so on the link. The link's provided in the description box below. I want to thank Jason for his channel donation from yesterday. Thanks, Jason, for the donation. And I hope that your New York Knicks, along with RJ Barrett, can at least do something this year, man. I mean, the East is so much weakened from its state last year, and the Knicks can. I mean, really, theoretically, man, you think the Knicks can do nothing but go up at least this year. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, but get into this video. I want to talk about Zion Williamson. Shout out to QuestX. I saw his video earlier today about Coach K voicing his concerns about Zion Williamson's conditioning, his weight. um, I saw that the ESPN Seth Greenberg voiced similar sentiments about Zion Williamson's conditioning. My thing is, me personally, this is going to be the narrative for Zion. He's a big guy. He's 6'7". He's listed as 285. He might be a little bit heavier than that now. All right, this is my thing. When I talk about his weight, I'm aware that he's not what we would call fat. Although in the BMI index he would be listed as obese, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's he's just a big boy. But when I talk about his weight, I'm talking more about his conditioning. And I mean, and also, I'm not concerned about Zion Williamson 19, 20, 21, 22. My concern for Zion Williamson as an athlete grows when he reaches 28, 29, 30. That's when I start becoming concerned about his weight. Just the wear and tear of being in a body that big. And I know from personal experience, even if you're not obese or fat, just being that big can take a toll on your joints. You know what I'm saying? That's why when we see centers, they're the biggest guys out there, and they may not be overweight, but because they're carrying so much weight as opposed to the perimeter guys who might be 180, 190, 200, the centers are 260 plus, there's a higher risk for injury and a higher risk for long-term problems. Like some of the problems that you see with centers generally are lower leg issues, knees all the way on down to their feet. Bill Walton, feet. Yao Ming, feet. George Murasan, I think it was his ankles or his knees. I can't remember. It was something with his feet. Structurally, it's just. I think when I saw George Murasan recently, he walks with a cane, even though he's not even. I don't think 50 years old yet. I don't think so, or he's just turned 50. So this is the thing that I'm concerned about with some of these guys. Is I don't think George Murasan's 50 yet. But that's the thing I'm concerned about. A lot of these guys is over time. So even with Charles Barkley came in. I think 280, 300 pounds. There's an interview that he does that can be seen on YouTube where he's being interviewed by this guy whose name escapes me at the moment, but he's doing an interview and he mentions that he purposely tried to get overweight as much as possible so the Sixers wouldn't draft him. He said he came in like 280 or something, and when he found out that the Sixers were going to draft him, he went on like a 2 week like gorge, and he got up to 301, but the Sixers still drafted him. But he credited Moses Malone with giving him the work ethic that was possible to improve his conditioning and subsequent weight loss. And we saw when Charles Barkley really got down to what was his ideal playing weight, which was 252, 250, 255, that range. That's when we saw Charles Barkley at his absolute best. But there's another thing, too. Charles said he actually got all the way down to 240. And he said he felt weak. He didn't feel as energized. So he said, okay, Moses was trying to find like what would be his plan weight. He said, okay, so 250 your weight, stay 250. So he put on another 10 pounds. All right, so you can be actually too small when you're that big. Zion Williamson, I think, it's just if there's any problem right now, it's a conditioning issue. Maybe he's not in the best shape conditioning wise. He did suffer that injury. Um, Maybe, and also when you're that big, when you go any period of time without sustained athletic activity, he probably can put on a couple of pounds. He probably just has that type of frame. Like I said, I don't know this guy. I'm just going off of personal experience, knowing other people who are somewhat similar in build to him, going off of power forwards and centers. And so with a guy like Zion Williamson, who's not a post player, so quickness and speed are going to have to be something he's going to need a little bit longer than a guy like Charles Barkley, who was something we hadn't seen before at that time. A guy who, at the time, really could play either the small forward or the power forward position. Although we, generally think of him as a power forward. But earlier in his career, there were times when Charles Barkley would play the three. So, and Zion's more athletic than Charles Barkley. And Barkley was a great athlete, but Zion is on another level athletically. He's a freak of nature. And I think I might be wrong about him not being a player that's capable of superstar productivity. I'm probably wrong about that. But my thing is, I think Zion Wilson will be fine in the short term. I think he'll be fine. I think it's much ado about nothing with Mike Krzyzewski and some of these other guys. I think some of them are indicating that they're worried about his commitment to the sport right now, and that he's kind of distracted with other things. Look, I'm gonna tell you something like this: if you put any young 18, 19-year-old kid, and all of a sudden you give him a lot of money, and you're gonna have a lot of females all of a sudden who wouldn't give you the time of day when you were nobody. And not to say they weren't giving him time of day, because they could see his star was rising, but now that the cash is there, oh, of course, he's going to need some mentors around. He's going to need some people to protect him from the slime that's out there, masquerading as pretty little things. Snake oil salesman is trying to steal his cash. Yeah, he's going to need people out there to protect him from the swindlers and the snake oil salesmen and the damsel in distresses. Yeah, he's going to need somebody out there to protect him from that. That's what that's what he needs. That's why he needs a a core around him, especially at this age when he's still got to learn the ropes of life. He needs that core around him to protect him, from that. So he doesn't become, another, I don't know who's out there, another Antoine Walker or something like that. A guy that never was, a guy who had Hall of Fame potential, but never was serious about either his financial situation, his financial health, or his athletic health and his physical health. He never was serious. He never took a commitment to stay in the best possible shape as possible. I think he came in from college at 224. Was it Kentucky? I think he went to. Came in at 224, and within a year and a half, he was at 245. And then I think by the time he left the league, he was 265, 270. Not to say he should have stayed 225, but you look at him, and then you look at other guys who came into the league. Jamal Mashburn, for example. Jamal Mashburn was able to retire early at age 31. He could have played for more years. He could have played for several more seasons. But Jamal Mashburn was so financially set, he didn't have to play anymore. And now, from I read correctly, he's worth $75 to $100 million, and he has a chain of businesses throughout the state of Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why you need this core around you to protect you. So I think Zion Williamson will be fine physically. My question, for at least for the time being, my question about Zion Williamson is he just needs people around him to protect him from these negative um, forces that are out there to try to tear you down. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm worried about. But tell me what you guys think, man.